Hello, welcome to one of my favourite videos to make, which is tier ranking all the books I read in the past year, so in 2025. Now for once, I am actually filming this on the 30th of December before New Year's, but that's because I finished my last book of the year today, like literally 2 hours ago, and I don't think I'm going to read another book tomorrow. So I am willing to risk it. I will also be doing a Storygraph wrap-up, and the difference in these two, Storygraph wrap-up first of all is much more thorough, but second of all, and this is really key for you to remember as we go into this, the Storygraph wrap-up is my reflection immediately upon finishing the book. I rate it as I've finished it and I add reviews and whatnot. On the flip side of that, we are now going to be looking at everything from the past year. So first of all, there might be quite a few that I don't remember. And second of all, there might be a recency bias. So like the book I finished today, I know is going to be high. And thirdly, I might have enjoyed something at the time, but then upon reflection actually thought, I don't know if I love that, or vice versa. So I would recommend watching both videos, but the Storygraph one probably won't go up for another couple of weeks. But we're going to begin with this one. I actually have no idea how many non-fiction books I read this year, but I did read a couple, so I will mention those as well. Like, I'll point out that those are non-fiction ones for those of you who are looking for some more non-fiction reads and recommendations. Because I know that was when I first got into non-fiction, I think 2 or 3 years ago now. I really found it hard to like find good books because a lot of them are not that good, or at least not ones that I enjoyed. And so I did go to like tier ranking videos and whatnot to try and find some recommendations. So I will point them out as we come across them, especially the ones obviously that I do recommend. Now, one other thing to note before we get started, if you've been around on this channel for the last couple of weeks, you'll know that my computer sometimes likes to make really loud and annoying noises. So I'm really sorry in advance for that because we have to do it on my computer. Oh, actually, before I start, I was trying to think how many books I think I've read this year, and I thought it was at around 55, maybe 57. And when I put them all into the tier ranking, I think it said it was 68, which is quite a lot. But in a way it does make sense because I do think I read more than a book a week. I read like a book every 3 or 4 days, I would say. Although I did have 2 very lengthy books in November that took me the whole month between the 2. So yeah, anyway, let's go. Okay, here we go, and yes, you can hear the noise, I'm so sorry. And I'm using a different tier maker this time because it's really annoying importing the books, I have to rejig them, and I did have to do that with this one as well, but not as much. Now the categories I've got are top book, as in a top favourite of the year. Then I've got really good, alright, don't remember, and did not enjoy. And I started the year off fairly strong with Wicked, which is a book I've actually wanted to read for years, like decades, or a decade. And finally, with the movies coming out, it's become more accessible. It's not about even being more keen or whatever, thank you. It's just the fact that it was more accessible, and so I was able to finally read it. And I'd say this was pretty good, so I think I'll put it in good for now. We'll see, I might move things. Next, we've got the whole Noughts and Crosses series. Now, I read these all one after the other, so it does blur the lines a little bit of where the books were. But I think what I'm just going to do is put the first one in good and the rest in all right. Because I remember liking the series but not loving it, and there were bits that I enjoyed more and less, and I don't know. Now the next one is The Dinner Party. I'm like having a vague recollection of what it was, but not enough I feel to judge it, so I'm going to put it in don't remember. And then the next one is The Countdown, which I really can't remember at all. Was that? Oh, maybe that was something almost like Jack Reacher kind of style, but I don't remember it being very enjoyable, but I also don't remember it very well, so we'll leave it there. Next, I think it's Murder on the Dance Floor, I think that's what it's called, by Shirley Ballas. I did enjoy this. I think it was good. Like, it was nothing mind-blowing, but it was good. I had a fun time reading it. Next, a Dutch one, Wie niet weg is wordt gezien, which was about the Second World War. I thought it was pretty good. And like, it was important to read and interesting. But I think I'm just gonna put it in good as well. Now the next one is The Thursday Murder Club, and I am so sorry for what I'm about to say. I have realised, and I might come back to this again in my Storygraph wrap-up as well, but I've realised that I take a lot of book recommendations from Hannah Whitten, and I've learned over the course of this year that I don't think I like the same books as her, because a lot of her top books of the year I have not enjoyed. I feel bad putting it as did not enjoy, because like, it was just nothing. Like, I didn't feel anything against it, but it just didn't do anything for me. I'm gonna put it in did not enjoy, but just like take that with a grain of salt. And then the next one is Dance to the Death, which was the sequel to Murder on the Dance Floor. I feel like I enjoyed that as well. Again, it was fine. Was it good or all right? I feel like it was good. Like, I had a better time with it than I did with the rest of the Noughts and Crosses series, I think. Next, oh my gosh, I forgot about this one. Sunrise on the Reaping. That was good. The question is, was it a really good book or was it a top book? I kind of feel like it was a top book. I think. Yeah. I'm gonna put it there for now and we'll see. But I think I'm happy with it there. I think it's just because it was so long ago that I read it. I think it came out in like March or something. And I think also there was that slight thing of I'd forgotten a lot from the Hunger Games series and the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. But I mean, come on, it's a good book. It's a good series. It's a great series. I love it. Next, Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, and this was weird. It was so weird, but I did really enjoy it in a very weird way. Maybe not at the time, I don't know, but upon reflection, I want to put it in really good. That's where it feels like it belongs. I had a good time with it. Oh no, not there. There. Next, Tom Felton's biography, I always forget which it is, Beyond the Wand. I enjoyed this. I thought it was interesting. I liked hearing about the behind the scenes of being on set. I'm gonna put it in really good. Next, Desert Flower, absolutely a top book of the read. A what? A top book of the year. I highly encourage everyone to read this book. It's a non-fiction. Oh, where else are the non-fictions that I read? I think those might have been the only two so far. Desert Flower and Tom Felton's book. Maybe Wie niet weg is wordt gezien, but I don't think it was a non-fiction. I think it was just based on truth. But Desert Flower, if you're looking for a good non-fiction, I highly recommend this, although it comes with a lot of trigger warnings and whatnot. It was intense and graphic, but so important to read. I think it was, yeah, really good. Next, Malibu Rising. I did really enjoy this. It wasn't my favourite Taylor Jenkins Reid book, but I did really enjoy it. I think I'm going to put it in really good. Like, it's just such an easy read, and the narrator, was it? No, I actually read this one as an ebook, never mind. Next, This Book is Gay by Juno Dawson. This is also a non-fiction, and I kind of want to put it in alright. I feel bad, because like, obviously I'm pro the LGBTQIA+ community, and I think this book could be really good and very important for a certain demographic. I just think I'm not in that demographic, so I'm gonna put it in alright. Next, Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zusak. Marcus Zusak has written one of my favourite books ever, The Book Thief. And I read I Am the Messenger by him as well a while ago, and I loved it. And when I say a while ago, I mean like 10 years ago. But Bridge of Clay just didn't quite do it for me. I don't know, I wouldn't say I did not enjoy, but I'm just gonna put it in alright. Then the next one is Inferior, which was also a non-fiction. And this was meant to be about like women being overlooked in science, but it ended up for me just being a bit too much information and not enough storytelling. So it didn't quite hit the spot, and I don't know whether to put it in alright or did not enjoy. I think it was fine, like I didn't have anything against it, so I'm gonna put it in alright, especially because it is such an important topic and I don't want people to ignore it for that reason. But yeah, it wasn't my favourite, and I feel like there are better ways to make it more accessible to people like me who don't necessarily understand all like the scientific language or who can't just focus on like an essay. But this book is great, I'm sure, for some people. I can already see this next like couple of books. I just have no idea. All the Missing Girls. I just cannot recall. Wrong Place, Wrong Time, I cannot recall. The Art of Travel, I do recall, and I don't remember it being anything amazing, but did I enjoy it or was it just meh? I think I did enjoy it somewhat, so I'm gonna put it in alright. Tell No One, I just don't remember these at all. So for these ones, you just have to watch my Storygraph wrap up in a couple of weeks and see what I actually thought of them at the time. But yeah, oh, The Art of Travel I think was also non-fiction, but as I say, I don't remember too much of it, and I don't remember it being amazing, so do with that what you will. The next one, How to Keep House While Drowning, is also a non-fiction. And I don't know whether to put this in I don't remember or alright. Because I don't feel like I remember a lot of it, but what I do remember of it, I just don't remember being wowed by. I think, if I recall correctly, I feel like I was maybe a little bit disappointed in this one, because, well, but I know self-help books don't work for me. But I think this probably is a really good book for a certain type of person. I just don't think I'm the aim, I'm the target audience. But I'm gonna put it in Don't Remember because I wouldn't be able to tell you anything from the book, so I'm gonna put it in Don't Remember. Then I read Harry Potter the prequel, which is like an unofficial, no, I think it is, well, semi-official, like, little page. It's like 2 pages. It was alright. It's fun to be back in that world, but it was nothing more than that. Then I read Of Mice and Men. This one was interesting. It was a bit weird, and it didn't do very much for me, so I'm gonna put it in all right. I have no idea what this next one is. I did pull up Storygraph just in case I would need it, so give me a moment. The Signature of All Things. Oh, that was such a good book. It's long, it's big, but I really enjoyed it. It was a historical fiction, which is right up my street. So yeah, that's going in really good. I really enjoyed that book. Next, I've got All My Friends Are Superheroes, which was a book that Carrie Hope Fletcher recommended years ago and was utterly obsessed with, and I've been wanting to read it since then. And I finally got round to it, and honestly, it just disappointed me a little. I think probably because I'd heard such good things from her and it just didn't match that expectation at all. But it wasn't bad really, like it was fine, so I'll put it in all right. I'm Thinking of Ending Things was also fine, a bit strange, and again I would say, oh, what's happening? Didn't do very much for me, so we'll put it in all right. Coraline, like, maybe I'm biased because I've seen the movie and I did really like the movie, and also obviously we don't like Neil Gaiman. By the way, almost all of these books are from a library, and I always like to think that I'm supporting certain authors less by borrowing from a library rather than buying their book. I don't know if Coraline goes in all right or good, but I feel like it was all right. I feel like maybe it even goes in did not enjoy, because I feel like I didn't enjoy the writing as much as I enjoyed the cartoon, which is very rare for me to say. Usually I much prefer books over movies. I don't know why, I feel like it annoyed me. So I'm gonna put it in did not enjoy, which feels very odd, but I'm doing it. Again, maybe the author is feeding into that as well. Next, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, which I had sort of seen bits of the movie of before, although a long time ago, and I have heard very mixed reviews about, very mixed, so I was curious, and honestly, I did enjoy it, so I'm gonna put it in good. I mean, enjoy is probably the wrong word, but I liked. I don't know what the right word is, but I'm gonna put it in good. Next, Inglorious Empire, which I think was a non-fiction about the British Empire. And I don't know, there were bits that were really interesting, but I remember it just being so much information and I couldn't keep it all in. I think I'm gonna put it in an all right. It's either gonna be all right or good, but I feel like it's not quite good enough to be in good. I'm putting it in all right. Next, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. And this was probably a top book of the year, to be fair. I loved this book. Oh, it was so good. And I read a physical copy, which was so exciting. I'm putting it in top book. Then Happy Place. Oh, this is hard because I read a couple of Emily Henry's and I can't remember. Oh, Happy Place was the one I think set in Maine. And it was about a couple. They're all about couples. I feel like I did enjoy this, but I don't think I loved it. I might put it in good. And again, the narrator for for Emily Henry's books, Julia Whelan, is amazing. I love listening to her voice, so that probably helped as well. Next, probably my least favourite book of the year, it lied. Never mind. Animal Farm. Animal Farm was good. It was a reread for me, which I haven't done many of this year, or ever. Generally, I don't like to reread, but I read this one quite a number of years ago, and I was just curious if with a better understanding of the history, I would enjoy it more. And it turns out that I've forgotten a lot of the history, and so I kind of feel like I need to go back and learn all the history again and then reread it. But I did enjoy it. I think it's a very good book. Now it's probably my least favourite read of the year, and that is The Understudy. And I had such high hopes for this because it was a book, it was, I think, a comedy, supposedly, and it was about someone working in the theatre, and like, you don't read a lot of books about that necessarily, and I thought it was going to be right up my street, and it just really disappointed for me. I really didn't like the main character. They really got on my nerves constantly. They were so ungrateful for working in the theatre, and they just had such a negative attitude, and all their family had a negative attitude, and it was actually like painful to listen to. It was an audiobook, and it just like irked on me. Next, Can't We Just Print More Money, which was a non-fiction, and I am very good when it comes to my own finances, but I don't really understand the financial world very well. The stock market, and I don't even know what else, like banks, interest, like I just don't really get it. And I was hoping this book would explain it to me, and I think it was trying to make it so easy for people like me to understand that it almost didn't get anywhere with its point. And so it was all right, that's where I'm gonna put it, but I didn't feel like it actually gave me the answers I wanted. But maybe the answers I want are too complicated for me to understand. Next, Carrie Soto is back. This is probably one of my top reads of the year. I mean, how many tops am I allowed to have? Again, I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this was set in the tennis world, and I love tennis. And I started reading this, I think literally like a couple of days after Wimbledon ended, and I'd been like hyper focused on Wimbledon, so it was really nice to like jump back into the tennis world. I didn't love Carrie Soto as a main character, not at all, but I loved being in that world and seeing how the coaches think and like how the world actually is. Well, I'm sure it's not necessarily because it's fiction, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Plus, this was one that I finished it the day that I went to meet the Dear Hopefuls, and they'd both read it as well, and so we discussed it, and that helps obviously make it more fun and to have the conversations around it, so enjoyed that. Next, The Time Traveler's Wife. Now, I had seen the movie a couple of years ago, and then I saw the musical, I think about 2 years ago, and yet I couldn't remember like a lot of the story. And this broke me, man. This was like, but it was the kind of book that I just wanted to keep reading. This is also quite a big book, and I think I read it quite quickly, given the fact that it's a big book. Again, Storygraph will give us more statistics on that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. My question is it really good or top favorite? Oh, I'm really struggling with this one. I think I'm going to put it in top favourites. What I might do at the very end is just look at my top books and compare them to what I rated them on Storygraph. I won't do that for all of them because again, there will be a whole separate video for Storygraph, but just to see if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, I'm going to put that in a top book. Beach read, another Emily Henry. This one was okay. I did enjoy it. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as Happy Place, so I'm going to put it in all right. Although like my temptation was to put it in good, but then when I saw that Happy Place was there, I figured it's not quite on the same level for me. Next, The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi, I think it was called. Another fairly big book, but I did really enjoy this one. This one I think I read in like 2 days. I'm gonna put it in really good. The next one is Why the Caged Bird Sings, and it wasn't the actual book, it was like a radio dramatization kind of thing, and I didn't enjoy the radio dramatization. I think the book I probably would, but this didn't quite do it for me. Oh, I know Why the Caged Bird Sings, sorry. I just felt like I couldn't fully follow it, I was a bit confused, there were lots of background sounds, it just didn't work for me. Next, this is where we start my blue book reading. Oh, that was a choice. And I am still planning on filming the other colours later on this year, like 2026, but it's quite a commitment, so we'll see. This one was To the Lighthouse, and I didn't enjoy it. I feel bad saying that because there were bits about it that I liked, there was some language in it that I enjoyed, but just on the whole it was a struggle and it felt like I was desperately pushing through. Next, Killing the Dead. I don't remember this being particularly remarkable. Was it alright or did I not enjoy it? Again, it was like a meh. I feel like I need to add a category for meh, but if I go back now, I'm not going to remember which ones were meh. I'm going to put it as alright. It was fine. Next, The Last Agent in Paris. I really enjoyed this book, so I'm going to put that in really good. Again, historical fiction and Second World War. Like, you can tell, this is my genre. Next, Educated. This was a non-fiction. Have I missed any other non-fictions? I know Why the Caged Bird Sings was technically non-fiction. I don't think any of the others were. But Educated, oh my gosh, I actually mentioned this in my top favourites. What a read. Again, quite graphic, quite intense. You need to be in the right frame of mind to read it, but you need to read it. It is, wow, eye-opening, really fascinating. Next, Legends and Lattes. This was fine. I enjoyed the world. Did I love it? I think Legends and Lattes can go into good, and then the bookshops and book dust, or whatever it's called, bone dust, can go into all right, because I didn't enjoy that one as much. Next, The Survivor, which is also a non-fiction, and that... I think it was good. I think it was okay. The reason I'm hesitating is because I don't really remember very much, because I do read so much non-fiction about the Second World War, but I do remember being moved by it, so I'm going to put it as good. Next, Never Let Me Go, another blue book. This was another one that was like a little bit strange, a little bit weird, but I think overall I did enjoy it, just the ending sort of let me down. I think I'll put it in good, though. Next, Space, which is another non-fiction, and this one was really interesting, but maybe a little bit too much information, but I think I will put it in good still. I think it's really hard with the non-fictions to balance, like, giving as much information as you can, but also not making it too dry and too much, and the balance of, like, storytelling and information. And I think something like Educated or Desert Flower did that so well. Whereas things like Space, or what was the other one I mentioned? I can't see it now, but there's been a couple where that's maybe like, or Euphoria, for example, could have been, I think, so much better, but just the way it was written didn't work for me. Next, Funny Story by Emily Henry. Why can I not remember this one? This is the most recent one. And that picture is so familiar, and I feel like I did really enjoy it. Like, based off just looking at that picture and like remembering it was an audiobook and like seeing that on my phone and listening to it, I remember really enjoying it, but I just can't remember like the plot or any of the details. But I still kind of want to put it in really good. Maybe I just will. Just my sense is to put it there. Next, I've got, oh, which one was this? Kafka on the Shore, another blue book. And this one, I don't know where to place this because I did not enjoy so much of this, but it was also so weird that there were bits that I did really, or really is an exaggeration, but bits that I did enjoy, and I was curious. I wanted to find out the mystery. But I'm gonna put it as did not enjoy because I don't feel like I got the satisfaction at the end. So yeah, and I really didn't like the author's way of writing women and like the way they spoke about women and everything. So we're gonna put it in did not enjoy. The next one is The Road, which was another book, blue book, the final one. And this one, I think it was all right. It was fine. It was very middle of the road, as I said at the time, and as I will say again. Next, Murderbot. Again, this was one of Hannah Witton's recommendations, and I think I'm gonna put it in did not enjoy. Again, there were like bits about it that I liked, but just overall, I really didn't like the main character, and it just didn't do anything for me. On the flip side of that, I read Girl in Translation at the recommendation of the Hopefuls, the Dear Hopefuls, and that was a very good book. That was a really, really good book. That definitely goes in really good. And then the second one, which was also at the recommendation of the Dear Hopefuls, which is just, is Beartown. Now, this is where the recency bias absolutely comes in because there are 3 Beartown books. It's part of a trilogy, and the third and final one is the one I finished reading 3 hours ago. So I'm still very much in that world. I'm a big fan. It finished, I don't know if I would say on a high, because it was not necessarily a high, but it was definitely like impactful, and I enjoyed being in that world. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm sorry if there's a recency bias, but I am gonna put Beartown, I think, in a top book of the year, to be honest. Another one though that's very intense and like read with caution, but so good. The way Frederick Backman writes, my goodness, he knows. Next, Where Rainbows End, and this was one, I don't know whether to put it in alright or did not enjoy, because again, there were moments that I liked and moments that really, really frustrated me, and it was quite a long book, it was quite a big book. I am going to say, I think I'm going to say did not enjoy. Because it took me a whole month to read it. And yes, it's a big book, but it was quite easily written. Like, it wasn't hard writing to read. And if I'd enjoyed it more, then I would have read it much, much faster. Next, another non-fiction, The Emperor of All Maladies, which is a book about cancer and like the history of it. And it was interesting, but again, I felt like there was a lot of information, which I'm sure like you have to give a lot of information. But it was a lot, so I'm gonna put it in, I don't know if it's gonna go in good or all right. I think I'm going to put it in all right. All right is a weird category for me at the moment, but we're going to just pop it there. Next, The Count of Monte Cristo, which was another Hannah Witton recommendation, and not just hers. I've actually recently seen on Twitter like a resurgence of people reading this book, and people really enjoying it and hyping it up and saying it's great. It just was not for me. I liked the setting of it being, you know, in France in like the 1800s, and I liked, you know, the royal story and everything, but I just got so lost, and also it wasn't the kind of story I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect going in, and I should have done a bit more research and maybe not started on this gigantic book, but I'm gonna put it in did not enjoy. Like, I'm glad I read it, but I didn't enjoy it. It just felt like a struggle. Next, Stolen by Leslie Pierce. I read a book by Leslie Pierce last year called Secrets, which was so good. One of my favourite books of last year. This one, however, did not quite live up to that same expectation. It was quite predictable. Apparently this one was written quite a while ago, whereas I think Secrets was written more recently, so she's probably improved in that time. But yeah, it was like, I liked the characters, there was a nice overall feel to it, but it was a bit too predictable and very, very frustrating. So I'm going to put it in all right. but I am glad I read it. Then Us Against You, which is the second one of the Beartown trilogy, and that is gonna go in... It's hard when I've just read the third one to try and remember what happened in the second and like where the books started and ended. I think it's gonna go in really good. I'm obsessed, I think, with Fredrik Backman as a writer, and I had the opportunity earlier in the year to take one of his physical books. I was given it as there was a pile of books and I could pick one, and A Man Called Ove, which has been made into the film A Man Called Otto, I think, was one of those options, and I thought I probably wouldn't like it very much because it seemed like it was about a grumpy old man. And now that I've read Fredrik Backman's writing, I'm just like, this guy gets stuff. He gets it. He just gets human nature. I did not mean to put that in all right. That is meant to go in really good. Next, Ace by Angela Shen. Now, this is another non-fiction, and I myself am Ace. And I hesitated for a long time about whether or not I wanted to read this, and there were bits of this that I was just like, this is the most relatable thing I've ever read when it comes to my Ace-ness. And then there's other bits, obviously, that I completely don't relate to, but that's, you know, Ace is a spectrum, as is everything. So that's okay. And on the one hand, it felt really affirming to read the bits that did relate to me. But on the other hand, I kind of almost feel like I'd rather just everyone else reads this book, because I feel like it's more for them than for me, because I do know some of this or a lot of this already. So personally, it felt less like educational and more just like reading my own story written down for certain bits. So I don't know, like I think for me, it was maybe between good and all right, but like for other people, for people who aren't Ace, I think it's so important to read. And I think it would be probably more impactful. But am I gonna put it in good or in all right? I think in good, just because I do think it's so important for other people to read. Next, Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green, another non-fiction. I definitely read more non-fictions towards the end of the year. This one was good, and I did enjoy it, and I do really like John Green's writing style, but it wasn't quite what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be about how everything is connected to tuberculosis, and it was a lot less about that and a lot more just about tuberculosis itself. There were moments where he was like, oh, and this is related to this here and there, and it was interesting to hear about the history and the impact, and it's so important to like be aware of the injustice of it, but equally I'm like, I would have liked more examples of how it's connected, basically. But it was good. I'm gonna put it in good, because I did enjoy it. Next, Eleanor Oliphant is Fine. I keep saying Olifant because that's like, it's the Dutch word for elephant, and it's spelt the same but with an F, but I'm sure it's pronounced differently. It's probably like Olifant? I don't know. The thing is, I've listened to it as an audiobook and I still don't know. But anyway, this book was another recommendation from Hannah Witten, and another one that I absolutely did not enjoy. This was another one probably of my least favourites of the year. And with this one was quite a recent read, because we're now in the December books. I looked at the reviews after on Storygraph, because sometimes when Hannah Witten recommends a book, she is right, and I do enjoy it. Sometimes I don't agree, and the reviews agree with me and say this isn't a very good book. And sometimes, like in this case, she loves it, I didn't. The reviews loved it. I think it had like over 4 stars on Storygraph. And I'm just there like, did we read the same book? I don't know. But this book, there was so much about it I didn't enjoy. And like the main thing is I didn't like the main character. My battery's about to die and I've got 2 books left, so I'm gonna rush through this. But yeah, did not enjoy. Then next, another non-fiction, my last one of the year. Very, very good. Careless People. I would say, is it really good or is it a top book of the year? I'm gonna say really good. I don't think it was quite as impactful to be the top book of the year. And then the very last one, which I finished today, is The Winners, which is a big book, much bigger than I realised when I started it like 3 days before the end of December. And again, my query is, does it go in really good or in a top book? Oh, it was so painful. I'm gonna leave it there for now. I think I will leave it in really good. I think I'm happy with this. I'm gonna switch this off unless the battery dies first, and then I'll come back and just look at the top books and also my did not enjoys, because for did not enjoy, usually my rating is like 3 star is it's a book, whereas anything below 3 stars is I didn't enjoy it. So let me just check if those match and then we will finish up. Okay, here we go. So, Sunrise on the Reaping, what did I rate it? 4.5. I never give a 5. Like, even a 4.75 is unlikely. So, 4.5 is basically the top I can give something. So, yes, that deserves to be there. Desert Flower. 4.5. Okay, that deserves to be there. The Nightingale. I feel like that's going to be 0.25. 4.25, as I guessed. Carrie Soto is back. I think that's also going to be 0.25. Yep, 4.25. Time Traveler's Wife. Now that one is the biggest question, I think. 4. Okay, but still, 4 stars, not bad. Educated, I think that's going to be a 4.5, maybe? Yes, it is. Oh, look at me remembering these books. But of course, like, the top ones of the year are going to be remembered the best. I think Beartown's going to be a 4.25. Oh, no, it is also a 4.5. Excellent. And just to compare that to the second two, Us Against You, or the third, second and third, Us Against You is 4. Sorry, I thought my camera just did a weird thing, but it didn't. And The Winners, which I finished today, I think I gave 0.25, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's good. Good to know that I'm in the right place with my guesses, or my memory, I guess. Stumbled over that. Right, now let's look at the Did Not Enjoys. Thursday Murder Club. I feel like that's going to be a 3. Oh, it's a 3.5. Oh, no, we need to move that to all right. Sorry, Richard Osman. My bad. Coraline? 3.75. I guess I don't remember these things well. I don't know where Coraline belongs. I'm going to put it next to that one. I don't know. We'll put it there. The Understudy is definitely going to be a 2 or something. I think that will be my lowest scoring book. A 2.5. That's generous of me. I think I feel bad. Again, I don't go above like 4.5, I think. Like, that's my highest. And I think my lowest ever is a 2.5. I don't think I've ever gone below that. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I think that's going to be higher, but as I say, this one was a bit of a weird one. A 3. Okay. As I say, 3 is usually not bad, but in this case, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was just the audio version of it I just didn't love. So The Lighthouse is a 2.75. Kafka on the Shore is going to be an interesting one, because I think it's probably a 3. Yeah, and I think that is because I was so confused by it and intrigued. But yeah, I think Murderbot will be a 3 as well. Oh, All Systems Red, that's what it was called, and that was a 3 stars. So again, technically that's not bad, but hey-ho. Where Rainbows End. 3.25. Like, again, I feel like that's generous, but maybe that's how I felt at the time. Counts of Monte Cristo will be an interesting one. 3.25 as well. And Eleanor Oliphant is fine. Completely fine. 2.75. There you go. I'll do the finish up without the computer so that we don't have too much noise. And my battery is dying again. What fun. Thank you for sticking around until the end if you've made it this far. I imagine this is quite a long video, but as I say, I love doing these videos. I love doing them, and then I also love finding them from people on YouTube whenever I'm looking for new recommendations. I probably have also spoken about each book individually a bit more in depth in my favourites or my monthly reviews. And as I've mentioned a couple of times, I'll be doing a Storygraph wrap-up, hopefully in the next few weeks as well, which I'm very much looking forward to. And I'm interested, even though I just went through it with you, I can't remember what my top book of the year was. So that'll be interesting. But from what I recall, I had quite a few 4.25s and 4.5s, which is rare for me. Like, if I compare that to past years, I've not had such a good running streak, I think, in a while. So yeah, I feel like it's been a good reading year overall. I mean, there were also some low books, obviously, and quite a lot that I couldn't remember, so sorry about that. Sometimes I do read so much in a row, and especially when it's audio, and I just like either blend the different books together or just forget about them completely, which obviously is a shame, but that's what happens. The blue books I was talking about, I have already linked it up, I think, earlier in the video, but essentially I did a quiz and it categorized me as a blue book reader. And so I was on a mission to find some blue books. And now what I want to do is read a couple of books from each of the other colours and see if they were right about me being a blue book reader or better another colour. So that will hopefully be coming out at some point in this year, but I do think it's going to take quite a while to film and read, obviously. But if there is any other bookish content that you'd like to see from me, do let me know down in the comments. And if you've read any of the same books, if you have any of the same top favourites or different favourites, or if my least enjoyed was some that you loved, again, I say, like, Hannah Witten loved a lot of those books, and for some reason they just didn't quite click with me. But I always respect the author. I have a lot of respect for an author. It's a lot of hard work, and a book is a book, and it's always fun to read. But that is all. I will see you all in another video very soon. Bye!